everybody, and welcome to NASCAR Thunder 2003. This is one of the best NASCAR games ever made. It is my personal favorite game, and it is even better now because we are doing something very special. We are running Baguette's NASCAR Thunder 2003 Restoration Beta Project. I will leave a description I will leave a link in the description below to their Twitter account so you can see their work as well as find this texture pack for yourself. This is on the GameCube version. As you can see, there's one of the changes right there. We have Budweiser on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s number 8 car. So what this texture pack does is it gives us the PC high-res textures. It also will do things, it will add beer logos back to all the cars as well as changing any of those other cars. It'll change all of the stuff at the tracks. So essentially it'll make the game look more realistic. They do have plans to actually maybe replace some of the custom drivers in the game with some drivers that did race in the 2002 but weren't included in the game. So let's go ahead, jump right in. We're going to go to quick race here. So I do have Dale Earnhardt unlocked, of course. So one of the ones, so as much as I love this game, one of the things I hate is how they organize it. They do it by last name instead of number like every other game. So here's an example. They put in one of Kyle Petty's old cars over the Josh Nealon slot, so you can see, you get that car there. So that's one of the things that they'll be looking to do further on in the future. Let's go ahead. So we already saw Dale Jr.'s car. There it is there. You can see it says Budweiser's 01 car still says Earnhardt Jr. Let's see here. Going down, it does fix the textures on the 29 car as well, including the roof numbers, as well as the font on his Good Wrench car. Let's see here, what else we got? We also got the 40 car. So that is corrected. It now says Sterling Marlin. Or I'm sorry, it doesn't say Sterling Marlin anymore. It says Coors Light. The 6 car does still say Pfizer. That is something that will probably be changed in a future update. This beta came out at the end of last year. I'm not sure when it will be updated further. Let's see here. Yeah, here it is. Rusty Walsh. You can see he has Miller Lite. And if you look there, you can actually see Miller Lite on all of the cars, which is great. So some of the stuff not quite updated yet, like the Jeff Purvis car, still just says Jeff Purvis. But again, for a beta for this, it looks absolutely fantastic. It also does stuff like add the Xbox 360 controller layout for the loading screens. So we're going to go ahead and select our driver here. We're going to be good old Benny Parsons, driving the NBC car. Remember this, the Thunder Motion from every weekend. Of course, in this game, one of the things I loved is that they did the fantasy version of the track this way as a little layout there. Of course, the big thing here mostly was unlocking night variations of tracks. And the thing that's funny about going back and looking at these now is you can see stuff like Kansas, Las Vegas, or, you know, Richmond with having a day version be unlockable, is the fact that we've done most of these at some point, which is what makes it funny. We have Tiburon here, which of course is the amazing fantasy track. So let's go ahead and go to Tiburon. And there you see the loading screen with the Xbox One, Xbox Series controller. And they even did upgrades to the loading screens themselves in terms of making them higher quality. And when you combine it with all of the other stuff you can do on Dolphin, it just looks absolutely fantastic. So let's get this race started.
Welcome to the unique Tiburon Superspeedway in Orlando, Florida. MRN is live to bring you flag-to-flag coverage of tonight's NASCAR Winston Cup Series action. And boy, are we going to see some fast racing today.
Well, Joe, this place is 3 miles long. It's wide and it's fast. There won't be any restrictor plates slowing them down today either. I can't wait for this one.
Michael Waltrip joined DEI at the start of the 2001 season and got a win in his very first race for his new team.
He followed that up with some very impressive runs at the restrictor plate tracks. He's always had a knack for drafting, and with top-notch equipment, you'll be sure to see him up near the front.
gentlemen, start your engines.
Well, here's the starting lineup.
All right, so we're not going to sit through the whole starting lineup, but I love that pre-race presentation. Here we go. Green flag. We're racing at Tiburon. And as a reminder, this track has no restrictor plates. So you can see right off the bat how absolutely gorgeous this game looks. I have it upscaling to 1440p in terms of the textures. I believe that's 4 or 8 times X in the Dolphin settings. Look at some of the different cam views here. We got the bumper cam, the classic generic in-car, this hood cam, and of course, this is my favorite, the far chase. Now, I know a lot of people always talk about NASCAR Thunder 2004 being the best NASCAR game. However, for me, while it's good, and I've actually been playing it a lot lately, for me, it'll always be Thunder 03. And I will say probably part of it is nostalgia because Thunder 03 was actually my first NASCAR console game. As a kid, I had played some of the NASCAR racing games on PC, but this was the game I got when I got my PS2. Ooh, sorry, Jeff. And it actually ended up being the day of the 2003 500. We bought it at Sears. So that's part of it, but also the fact that I just prefer the driving model of this game compared to Thunder 04. Thunder 04 just seems to break loose easier. The back end seems a little more tail happy than it does in this game. This is a much more solid driving. I feel like to me the cars feel a lot more rigid in a good way. Yeah, just as well as I like this presentation better instead of the 04 where everything's slanted and kind of in your face. Would I love if we had the rival system in this game? Oh, absolutely. And there are certain things, especially like the career mode, just looking at the menus, it's a lot more in depth than 04. But to me, this will always be my favorite game. I've always preferred how it drives. I've also preferred this art style. 04 always seemed to have a weird art style to me, like it seemed darker in a way. And I always preferred 03. I always thought it looked more vibrant and more lifelike. And also, I always loved the 02 body style over 03 and later in Gen 4. I love these wide, fat Pontiacs. They're always have had a soft spot of mine. And the 02 Monte Carlo is actually one of my favorite cars of all time, not just in NASCAR, but in real life. I think it just looks absolutely fantastic. So even though we have no restrictor plates at this crazy banked speedway, you can see we are still pack racing here as we head up high, try to get a bit of momentum there. Was following Dale Jarrett for a sec, in behind Tony Stewart here. Now one of the things, these games, and this goes for 04 too, it seems to have those pockets of air when you get up to somebody on these plate tracks, or any of the tracks really. It like slightly slows you down so you don't hit them as fast. Whoa, Rusty Wallace! Oh, we got a wreck. We're damaged. We repair the car. Rusty Wallace getting loose in the middle of the corner. We get into Bobby Labonte, send him airborne, but he keeps going. He's going to stay ahead of us, and we'll come to the caution flag with 1 lap to go here. That was weird. As you can see, there's the contact for Bobby, and he flips right over onto his wheels and honestly gains the spot over Rusty Wallace, so it kind of worked out for him in a way. That was weird. So we're not going to pit, obviously, just a 1 lap shootout there. Green flag. And as is the case for most of these old EA games, for some reason the player has a different setup or just can't get through the gears as well as the AI on these tracks without some sort of altered setup. So I've always found weird, but nevertheless we make do with it. Heading through the steep, steep turns. It would be incredible if there was something like this. It'd probably be impossible to get wreckers on the corners or the Air Titans, but I mean, it's still cool. As you can see, there's still stuff loading on the side. You see it there. If you notice when we go past the pit boxes, they'll also be loading in at that time. So it's not like this game runs silky smooth, but it runs fantastic on Dolphin. It's probably the only game I play on Dolphin, really. Everything else I still play on the Wii, actually, because of the GameCube backwards compatibility. But here we go, cross the line. Not going to get Dale Jr. We did get Rusty, though, and that's going to be a P9 in our NBC Sports Pontiac. Not too bad for our first little race here. And of course, these highlights just showcase just how good this game is looking. I mean, rendering at such high quality with not only the texture pack, but the work done by the Dolphin emulator. That replay camera, not very good. Man, the replay cameras on this track are not good at all. But oh, that's a nice shot right there. And of course, it stops right before the wreck. But man, I just love this game. Let's get into another race. Before we get to our next race here, I just want to go over one of the things I find odd about these old games, and that they don't do anymore at all, is you have paint schemes from different years. And one of the things, this has always been one of my favorite cars, is the 1999 NASCAR Racers Pontiac. For some reason, they ran like 4 cars with the NASCAR Racers branding on it. And this is the only one in this game that has it. And it's in next year's game, too. They transfer it over to a Chevrolet. I've always was really confused why they have such old paint schemes that go in here. I think one of the best examples, if I can find him here, that has some of the most paint schemes is Johnny Benson in the 10 car. There he is. So he's got his 02 Pontiac, his Muppets, his MLB car, which is locked, Max Life, Xerox, Eagle 1, but then we have 01. I guess I'm thinking of someone else, because he actually didn't have that many. But just the fact we have so many different paint schemes from different years, it's such an odd thing to me that they do, and I you know, maybe 1 year ago, if it's the same sponsor, I can kind of understand why. But to me, it's just kind of weird they have it in this game. Maybe it was because they had rights to those licenses. I'm not quite sure how it worked. But either way, it was something weird about these games, but also really cool. It's something I think, without a doubt, we would never, ever see in a modern-day NASCAR game. We would never see paint schemes from previous years be put on cars. But we're going to jump in here as Kurt Busch, and we're going to go to Phoenix, but not just Phoenix. We're going to go to the road course, because I was messing around with this game earlier, and there is something really, really odd about the Phoenix road course. Let's see if you can figure it out.
MRN is at the Phoenix International Raceway for today's NASCAR road course race. What should we look for today, Barney?
Well, this is an excellent test of driver skill. The guy who controls his car the best will win today's race. It's not necessarily going to be the fastest car, but the smoothest car that gets the job done here today.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
One thing I noticed when I've been doing playtests of this game, for some reason, Scott Wimmer is always towards the front on these road courses. I have absolutely no idea why, especially considering he was a Busch driver. Anyway, here we go. Green flag is out here at Phoenix. You see those pit boxes loading in. Like I said, not 100% perfect. You saw the rendering stuff going on there in the cutscene. You'll notice it in the mirror as well. Here we go, down into the corner. Gonna get up on the curb here. Now, I said see if you can figure it out. You're not going to figure it out just by just normal driving here. So let's go ahead, be a little more aggressive into the corner here. And there you go. You can kind of see it. The curbs at this version, as you see it there as I run over, the curbs at the Phoenix road course are very, very aggressive. They're very much like the turtles we have in modern day road course racing. And the AI can have trouble with it too. In fact, actually, earlier when I was testing, going through the infield section, Robbie Gordon had hit a curb, jumped up in the air, and I actually drove completely underneath him. It was crazy. So we lock up there, make a bit of contact with Gordon. So our pole sitter Scott Wimmers lost some spots as we hop over the curb again. Out of the corner. This is a very, very short lap here. Only 39 seconds, 38 seconds there. So it's kind of cool to see Old Phoenix here. This is one of those tracks along with Homestead that's just had so many outlet, God, if I could speak, so many layout changes over the year. There we go. Good run through there. See if we can get underneath Scott Wimmer here. We are. Get up on that curb and it flings us over to the right on him. One of the things I never quite understood with their fantasy tracks is they would do these infield versions of road courses. And they would do fake ones, even though the track had real road courses. Like Daytona's is completely odd. In fact, you go over the lake. Make a little bit of contact there with Labonte as he goes off track from that. Which I never understood. They have real road courses. Was it easier to completely make up a road course than just to do a real one? Like, I don't quite understand it. As get a great run through there, but had to check up a little for Tony Stewart there. Right on board with our bumper cam here and into the cockpit. The fuel gauge in there. But man, I can't get over how good this game looks. Woo! You know what? I'm saying that's a fair move because when I was doing my testing earlier today, Tony Stewart kept running into the back of me. It was crazy. The curb knocks us over to the right. Lost a bit of ground there to the 6 car. Now, a little bit of advice if you decide to download this texture pack or any texture pack to run a game on Dolphin, please make sure you check the thing where it will load the textures before the game loads. I had a big problem, especially at Sonoma for some reason, whereas Tony gets underneath me again, where the game would just stutter just for a brief moment, but it's because it was loading textures, I guess. So it's better just to have it load the textures before you launch the game, and you'll have a lot less problems. Get a run here on Mark, get to his inside here out of the final corner, 2 to go, and we're under caution. I'll have to see what that was. Almost had Mark. Just looks like it was a spin out there. Oh, bit of contact. I still don't know who that was. Bill Elliott, maybe? Yes, it was Bill Elliott. Ooh, contact there with the 63. Looks like his teammate might have run into... No, it's Jimmy Spencer. Big damage to Elliott's car. 2-lap shootout in Phoenix. But it feels great to be in this game again, especially, you know, with how bad NASCAR games currently are, to be back in a time where they ran well, and to have it look this good. You know, again, there's a lot of popping and stuff, but you know what? You take it, because this game looks and plays good. Woo! Over the curb again. Time Mark's going to hit, and you saw he got loose there on exit. The AI are much more well-behaved in this race. The race I did here earlier today, it was absolutely insane. I think every lap we had a caution. Here we go, white flag. See if we can get underneath Mark Martin here. Heading up to the left-hander. Oh, Tony right into the back of us. That shot us up. We get into the side of Mark Martin here, side by side with our teammate.
Still there.
Go, braked a little late there. Jeff Burton almost got into us there. He makes a dive bomb. Oh, there it is. Contact there. That happened a lot in the race where the AI hit that curb and it just flings them. Here we go, out of the final corner, and we are going to take the victory. It is still a Roush. It's a Roush 1, 2, 3. How about that? And on top of that, we get to do a burnout, which I love. However, I'm going to keep talking and cut it short because there's music here that's probably copyrighted, and we have a blown engine already. Look at that. So look at our highlights here. It'd be interesting if that's what the Phoenix Road Course actually looked like, if it had that... Oh, jeez, that contact with Rusty. That was a lot bigger than I thought it was. The replay cameras in this game, not always the best, but it was 2002, so... it is what it is. There's the winning move right there. And we just kind of miss where Mark goes over the curb there and across the line to beat our teammate. And now we get to celebrate in victory lane. I don't know who that man is, but that is not Kurt Busch. Man, the face has got a lot better in Thunder 04 as we've unlocked a paint scheme. I loved this, unlocking paint schemes by winning. I also liked it in the later games where you would unlock them via the... What were those called? Skill points? Something like that? I hated in the later PS2 games when it had switched to the next generation of consoles like 08, 09. It switched to this medallion thing, which was absolutely awful. And of course, we don't have autosave. It asks you every time, do you want to save your data? Go ahead. Overwrite that. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video, guys. If you'd like to see more Thunder 03, I'm thinking about doing a career mode. I would really enjoy doing that. And also, I plan on doing some more GameCube stuff, hopefully here in the future. Again, that would be more native on the Wii. But also, I do have the World of Outlaws game coming soon, and 2022 DLC for both NASCAR 21 Ignition and NASCAR Heat 5. It'll be interesting to see how that is on Heat 5. So, if you're looking forward to that, you want to see more NASCAR Thunder, whatever it is you're looking forward to, leave a comment down below, leave a like on this video, and subscribe for more racing content, because much more is coming very soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!